Hey guys, it is Deborah. Welcome to your quick rehab inner elbow mobilization workout. You guessed it. Today we are focusing on bringing back mobility into the inner area of our elbow, which mainly consists of the muscles that make up the bulk of the belly of the forearm, but also extend on over to the wrist extensor muscles, which are responsible for bringing the wrist into wrist extension. So for today's workout, we are going to be doing a little bit of strength work as well as a little bit of stretch work. For the strength work, we are going to be needing a single weight. I am using a 5-pound here. We are going to be using assistance from our other hand. So if you do find your wrist is not strong enough for a 5-pound weight, you can drop down to a 3-pound or a 2-pound. And even if that is too much, you can go ahead and use a soup can, and that's 1 pound, and that will be just fine. If you are healing from an injury, it's most likely due to a golfer's elbow or some sort of repetitive stress injury you might get from using a lot of tools. All I ask for you then is that you have gotten the go-ahead from your occupational or physical therapist to embark onto long-term care. Here at Aline Postures, I am a body movement specialist carrying us forward into long-term rehabilitation care for our bodies. All right, guys? For the rest of us who are not healing from an injury, use these exercises and build them into your repertoire to be able to help you condition your body so that you can prevent yourself from getting injuries and overall just improve your athleticism. So guys, we have 8 moves. We're doing each move for 1 minute, making this an 8-minute long workout. So if you are ready, go ahead and give yourself in this video a thumbs up for being with me here today. Roll out your mat. Let's do this. Alright guys, so we're going to begin in a tabletop position. So come onto all fours, starfish your hands out onto your mat, bring your eyes of your elbows towards your thumb and stack your shoulders over your wrist, okay? From this position, I want you to press into the base of your knuckles. That's where your fingers connect to the palm of your hand and draw your inner elbows to the ceiling. That's going to help keep your arm bone in the shoulder socket. Exhale and then draw your abs on in, and that will help stabilize your upper body for all of the movements that we do in tabletop. The first move, we're going to rock forward to feel a nice stretch in the back of our forearm, or in the belly of our forearm, and then we'll rock back and then lift the fingertips on up, keeping the palms on the mat. We're going to move through these 2 positions, rocking forward, exhale, rocking back, lifting our fingers on up. We have 1 minute. This is our wrist mobilization work here. So as we come forward, we stretch. As we exhale and come back, we strengthen. Yeah. Keep the head in line with the shoulders. Feel the stretch and feel the work. We're going to feel the work again in those wrist extensors. And then the stretch in the belly of the forearm. Beautiful, guys. You got it. All right. So a great warm-up exercise just to get the blood flowing, get the body ready for some deeper stretching and some additional strength work. Now, depending on where you are, your flexibility may be different. The next move, we're going to bring the fingertips on out to the sides of the mat. We're going to rock back and forth. This is a more intense of a stretch for the inner forearms, and the inner elbow, belly of the forearm. Doesn't matter how deep you go. Just move to a place where you're feeling the stretch, but we're going to continue to move a bit dynamically. Now we're going to go even deeper, so move those fingertips towards your body and begin to sit back, but still press your fingers and your knuckles into the mat. That's going to feel a juicy stretch in the belly of the forearm there. This will be so good for our inner elbows, guys. You got it. You can rock out if it's too much, and then come back into it. All right, excellent work. Now we're gonna move into some strength work. So grab your weight. What we're gonna do is take our weight and move into some wrist curls. You can let the weight fall all the way down. This is going to be our wrist extension. And then as we move the wrist all the way on up, we're going to flex, flex, flex that wrist. If you need to hold your hand with the other wrist, that's fine. And then we're going to move back down into wrist extension, allowing the weight to come all the way down into the fingertips, and then really squeezing when we come back into wrist flexion. So moving between those two range of motions will help mobilize the joint, engaging the muscles that connect to the inner elbow, okay? Beautiful, guys, you got it. Keep going. Lift, squeeze. Don't forget those pinky and the ring finger, letting the weight fall. All right, we'll switch to the other side now. Same thing, allowing the weight to drop into the fingers and then rolling it all the way on up. Moving it back on down. So just by doing this, again, if you need the assistance on the wrist flexion, you can use that assistance from your other hand. You can tell if the weight is too much for you. You can always drop down, like I said. You don't really want to go more unless you're at a point where your body is capable of sustaining any additional weight. So always be mindful. We're working with our bodies, not against them. Excellent, guys. You feel that? Feel these muscles? Make that connection with your mind and your body. Excellent. Now we're going to take the bottom of our weight and we're going to move it on out to the side and up. You feel that? Right in those muscles in the forearm. The more you lower it, the more you have to lift it back on up so that you're engaging those muscles. It's not a race, so don't try to move fast. The slower that you go and the more mindful that you make these movements, the more you're going to build that mind-body connection so that as you do these movements throughout normal day activities or any specific exercise or activity you're doing, you're going to be that much more aware, your body's going to be that much more conditioned. And that's my goal, to help us all be aware of proper movement patterns that are functional to our body's natural anatomy. Beautiful, guys. Keep going. Up and back down. Up. We'll do the second side now. Same thing. Moving it on out and then back on up. Now, one side may be weaker than the other, or it may not be. That's the beauty of doing these moves. The more you can learn the ins and outs of all areas of your body, the more you are going to be that much more empowered on how to take care of yourself. Another goal of what I have for you all. Something I'm continuously working on in my own injury rehabs and my own fitness journeys. And I love passing that on to you because the more you get to improve, the more the world gets to see all the beautiful gifts that you have to offer. Whew, you feel this? It's a lot of work for the inner elbow. Great job. Okay, we're done with that. Now we're going to move into last two stretches. We're going to take the hands and we're going to keep them into our wrist flexion, and then we're going to extend back on out into our wrist extension. So we're just moving the hands on up, and then we're extending back. Up and extending back. These are more active movements here. Without the weight, allowing us to move through our own range of motion and then extending the fingers on out, beginning to extend into that wrist extension, feeling the stretch in the belly of the forearm. You got it. Counterbalancing that with the wrist flexion. Now we're going to take the hands on up like a Italian, and then we're going to bring them out now, out to the side. So up and up. This is our last move, just to stretch out those wrist extensors. Up and out. And slight movement of the wrist and positioning of the fingers helps target different areas of the body and the muscles as we stretch. So that's why I wanted to incorporate both of these moves in today's workout. You're doing so good, helping your body up and back. Feel that? With some stretching, some range of motion and stretching. We did some active work, some stretch and strengthening, and then we can let that go. Just do some wrist circles for a couple rounds of breath, breathing in through your nose, out through your mouth. Let's go ahead and just extend the palm forward. Don't pull at the fingers, pull at the base of the fingers where they connect to the palm to help yourself move into this stretch. Exhale. Inhale for length, extending. Exhale, draw the inner armpit back, feeling the release. Let that go. Second side, extending the wrist forward, drawing the palm and the fingers back. Exhale for relax. Inhale to create space, widen across the collarbone. Exhale, draw the inner armpit back, feel the release in the body. And we can let that go. Great job, guys. That was our quick rehab inner elbow mobilization workout. I'm so proud of you. Thank you for joining me here today. Let me know which move was your favorite in the comments below. And if you haven't quite yet, do subscribe to Aline Postures. If there's anything you want to work on, also let me know in the comments below. But otherwise, thank you so much for joining me here today. That was a lot of fun. I hope you have a great upcoming week. I will see you in the next workout. Bye, guys.